Hey there, I'm just doing a little bit of random exploring here in Bali. I rented a motorbike for the day and just headed out of town, out of the little village of Ubud where I'm staying, just to see what I might come across, and found this little temple here. I don't know anything about it, just was driving by and nobody was around, so I stopped and checked it out. There's some little prayer offerings, incense and flower petals and little leaf bowls and stuff kind of scattered around. So it looks like there was some kind of a ceremony here pretty recently. So this video is titled Fear is the Doorway Back to God. And I realize that's kind of a little bit of a controversial or contrarian or whatever title, but I will do my best to explain why this is kind of an important concept to understand. There tends to be this simplistic view that God is love and fear is the opposite of love and of God, and therefore one should always choose to go towards love and move away from fear. And I think that is a big misunderstanding, and that in fact facing fear is a very important part of the spiritual path and of self-growth and of truly coming into greater consciousness and awareness, raising one's vibration, and of coming into one's true full potential of lovingness and compassion and awareness of being. So I do believe that God is love, and we can hope at least, and that our basic fundamental essence of being as human beings and as spiritual beings is of love and joy and bliss and ecstasy, and that if we aren't experiencing ourselves as being that, then it is because we are simply disconnected from our basic essence, and that much of the path of self-evolution is more about simply removing blockages that are in the way of us simply being who we are, as opposed to creating something, creating happiness or creating love. It's more a matter of simply getting ourselves out of the way, or not ourselves, but that which is blocking us from being ourselves. So the thing with love is that love simply makes you feel. Love is a feeling. It isn't just a thought. There's loving thoughts, but that isn't really the essence of love. Love is really a feeling, and love makes you feel whatever is within you. Love isn't selective. It doesn't just cause you to feel feelings of goodness and positivity and joy and pleasure and pleasantness. Love activates your feeling body in general. And human beings are rather plagued by fear. And so the reason that humans are so resistant to love is to a great extent because of this fear within them that love tends to activate and make one feel, and they don't want to feel that fear, and so humans run away from fear or keep repressing it, don't allow it to come forth and truly move and truly recognize it, and so as a result then one's true potential is not allowed to come forth, because you have to allow your real feelings that are stuck within you to move. Emotions are meant to be moving energy, energy in motion. That is the nature of energy, is to flow, is to move, is not to be repressed and denied and held down. And so anytime you have any feeling or emotion that you don't allow just to course through you, but you block it for some reason, then it gets stuck within you. And so that's kind of where most of us are at, to one degree or another, basically all humans, is some degree of emotional denial that, and for most a great deal, that is keeping our feeling body from being able to, just vibrate and just be naturally as it is. And so acknowledging, recognizing, facing fear is such an important aspect of the spiritual path and of coming into greater consciousness, because it is that fear that is within us. It isn't just something that's sort of out there and, oh, here comes some fear, don't bother me. It's something that is within our being, stuck there. And without allowing that to move, then you don't get to the next level. You don't get to that deeper aspect of your consciousness, because that entails getting in touch with the shadow, as they say, with these deep-held fears. And so I realize this is kind of a bit of a rambling discussion to get to a fairly basic concept, but the reality is that moving in the direction of God and of love necessarily means oftentimes actually moving in the direction of fear. And it is simply our own fears within that need to be faced. Where a lot of people tend to get stuck, especially with relationships, is that they get to that level where they go into a deeper part of themselves, whether it's on the spiritual path or just in a relationship with someone that's starts bringing up lots of stuff, and then you get to that place where you connect with your fear, and then people have a tendency to back out, get out of there, just decide there's something here I don't like, and not go any deeper than that, and not go into it, and not feel it, not deal with it. And so and so that's where people kind of stop in their development, is came up against something scary within. I'm out of here. I'm going back the other direction because I don't know what to do with this. And so this is just something to keep in mind, is recognizing when you run into your own inner fear, and seeing how can you work with that. Is your fear something that is legitimate? I'm in this relationship, and is it because this person is out of whack or whatever, or isn't the right match for you, or isn't healthy themselves, or there's that is what is fear in the moment, that is related to the moment, is that if you're recognizing that something you're interacting with isn't right for you, versus are you simply coming into contact with your own inner fears that are being brought up by this experience or this relationship or this spiritual practice or whatever it is, and therefore should you stick with it, stay with it, move through it, and try to get to a deeper level beneath it. So that's just something to keep in mind, is the extreme importance of recognizing one's fears, being aware of them, trying to notice when you're being triggered into your fear that you really need to deal with. And the answer, as always, when it comes to difficult, troubling, emotional states of being, is to be fully present with it. That's the basic concept. And so it could just be, going and meditating, or doing some yoga, or going on a walk in the woods, or doing something in which you're actually coming into greater consciousness of what you're feeling, instead of looking for some distraction, just getting out of that situation, whatever it is, or that relationship, because it's too difficult, too scary. But try to recognize it. Is there actually something to be learned here? And is there actually a legitimate reason to go further into this instead of trying to get out of it? So I hope I got something valuable across there. Just something to come into greater awareness of is discard this concept that love is this way and fear is this way, and therefore always go away from fear. Because facing fears is such an important part of coming into greater consciousness, and coming into greater love, and coming into greater connection with God and all that is. Because it is fear that is keeping us separated from God and from love, and thus that which is keeping us separated from is in the way of we have to go through. That's the basic concept. All right, take care. Thanks for watching. Namaste.